Alright, so hey guys, welcome to another Warframe video, and Baro here has come once again and on PCs on the Orcus Relay on Pluto. So, the new item this time around is the Prisma Lotus Emblem, which I definitely think is one of the better looking emblems in the game. After that, we have a couple of primed mods, starting off with Primed Heated Charge for 165% bonus heat damage on pistols, followed by Primed Reach for plus 3 meters of range on melee, then we have Primed Quick Draw for 88% bonus reload speed on pistols, and we top it all off with Primed Heavy Trauma for 165% bonus impact damage on melee. Moving on from there, we have the Ignis Tausan skin, which is a very cool looking skin for the Ignis as well as the Ignis Raid, though it does make the weapon look like it's made out of Play-Doh a little bit. And then we have some landing craft decorations, those being the bronze Kubro bust as well as the pedestal prime. So here we have the Kubro bust sitting on top of a pedestal, which by the way does cost 1 million credits, so it is pretty expensive. Up next, we have a full set of the Prisma Sentinel armor, so we have the Jet Sentinel wings, Koi Sentinel tail, and Meghead Sentinel mask. And this is just a very solid looking Sentinel set, so if you want to spice up your Sentinel a little bit, you might want to pick this up. Next on the menu, we have the Harkonnen Wraith Cloak, which used to be an event exclusive, and it's also fairly similar to the standard Harkonnen Cloak, but it still looks pretty nice, and it also fits really well with the next thing that Baro brought, which is the full set of the Harkonnen Wraith armor. So we have the arm armor, which is very hard to say, the chest armor, and finally the leg armor. This is a very cool looking set of armor. I particularly like the chest piece because it adds a lot of detail, but it's also very flat, and it has a bit of a feature on it where the antenna on the right shoulder pad folds inwards when you're aiming down sight so that it's not in the way. Then he once again brought the Viper Raid, which is a very good weapon for people that most likely can't afford it. It's just a great starter weapon with good fire rate, fast reload, primarily impact damage, and decent crit as well. Next up, we have the Teer Shikara, which is kind of like an emblem, so it goes onto your shoulder and it does look quite nice. After that, we have the Machete Raid, which is not a complete meme anymore, it's actually a really good melee weapon after they did the rebalancing. So it does primarily slash with decent attack speed, okay-ish range, good crit, and good status. Then he brought another Siandana, this time the Prisma Uru Siandana, which does look quite nice. It's a little bit dinky for me, so it's not my favorite Siandana, but it definitely looks nice. After that, we have some more decorations in the form of the Zag Luxum and Dvad Luxum ornament, so here's what they look like side by side when placed in an orbiter. Then there is the Stalker Beacon, which is a consumable item you can put into your gear wheel and use it in a mission to summon the Stalker. Then he once again brought the Axia 2 relic, which has all the parts you need for Lex and Aklex Prime. It also has a Forma blueprint in the command drops, and the final item is as always the Sons of Inaros questline blueprint, which is the item you need if you want to get Inaros. Now, as far as my recommendation this time around, I would definitely go with Prime Heated Charge because it's just a ton of damage for any secondary weapon. Then I would probably pick up Primed Reach because the extra range, especially now that it adds flat amount of range, is really nice. And if you play Atlas a lot, you might want to pick up Primed Heavy Trauma as well, because you can use it on your melee weapon to increase the damage of your landslide. And that is pretty much it, unless you want a decent melee weapon, in which case I would highly recommend the Machete Raid because it is actually really good nowadays. And maybe I would pick up some Axia 2 relics, especially if you want the Aklex Prime, because those relics are exclusive to Baro, so you can't get them anywhere else. But then again, this is just my personal recommendation, so if you want to go for swag and cosmetics first, go right ahead. And that is pretty much it for Baro, so I thank you very much for watching as always guys, I hope you've enjoyed the video and it was helpful, and I will see you some other time. Bye bye.